Hello, and welcome to our last class in our series of 4 classes on profitable blogging. It's been great to spend this time with you guys, and I hope you've been able to take away some things from these classes that you'll be able to apply to your own blogging and take your blog to the next level that you want to see that success with your blog. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at some things to keep in mind for your blog in the future. If you're just getting started with blogging, these aren't things that you can necessarily apply right now, that you'd even want to tackle applying today, but they are things that have given a lot of success to other bloggers. So I just wanted to share them with you just to kind of keep them on the back burner. And then, when you have time and you feel like you're ready to tackle them down the road, then go ahead and tackle these things. They can help you grow your blog, get you more readers, and then also can grow your income from your blog. And so these are some things that have worked for me and things that I know have worked for other bloggers too. The first thing we're going to talk about tonight is email marketing. And this is something that you're actually going to want to consider doing as soon as you feel comfortable with your blogging and you're in a good groove and you know what you're going to be blogging about. Adding an email list to your blog is really important. I've talked to some pro bloggers, and one of the most important things that they have said that they wish they had done different in the beginning is to build their email list as soon as possible. Now, I get a lot of questions about what's the difference between having an email list, an autoresponder, something like Aweber or MailChimp or MadMimi, and just having my blog posts go out and having people be able to subscribe to those through FeedBurner. And that's a really good question. The big difference is going to be within autoresponder, you can really customize what you're sending out to your readers. With FeedBurner, they only get your posts, so whatever shows up on your blog shows up in their inbox. Whereas with an autoresponder, you can send them special emails, special information, special things that can help you build that bigger connection with your readers. I mentioned Aweber, or another one is MailChimp.com. Those are autoresponders. So those are the ones this is what you want. These will help you build your email lists. People will opt in, they'll fill out the form with their email address, and they'll ask to get updates from your blog. And then through that, you can communicate with them in email form. So there's some uses that you can do. There's some great ways to add more value to your blog. It can be used, your email list can be used to send information about your own services or products, price lists, or if there are repeated questions asked among your readers. If you're getting the same question over and over and over again, well, maybe it would be good to put that in an autoresponder so that people who are new to your blog will get those answers right away. So it'll also cut down on your work on your side of things too. An autoresponder can also be used to offer your visitors a special bonus of some kind, such as either exclusive advice, or you could put a free ebook up there. And that's just a great way to entice people to subscribe to your email list, because they're going to get that freebie. As long as it's something that they really want and they really need, they're probably going to sign up for it because it's easy to do. An email list and an autoresponder can also be used to keep in touch with your readers through an e-newsletter. So instead of just sending out the generic blog posts, you can actually add extra tips and information into a newsletter that you send out to your readers. Your list can also be used to advertise your blog and then to build the stable relationships with your readers. Also, if you offer a service or a product through your blog, it's a great way to keep in touch with your customers. They would then be. So an email list is a way to add even more value to your blog. I will say too, like even with Blogalina, we offer these classes, and the way that we keep in touch with class members is through our email list. It makes it really easy. It tells me, who signed up for what class when, and then only those people will get the updates that they need. So you can be really particular about who gets emails that you're sending out and really tailor the information to the people that you want to reach with it. A quick rundown on how to get started with email marketing is first to sign up for an autoresponder service, something like Aweber.com. That's what we use at Blogalina here, and it works really well. Or MailChimp.com is another one that you can use. The next step is to collect email addresses from your visitors by offering them a free report or ebook. And the key here is this report or ebook needs to be something that they need, some information that they really want to have, and something that ties closely to what you normally blog about, so that when they get your updates via email and they're hearing stuff from you, it's on the topic that they want to know about. That being said too, you want to focus on one specific topic for your opt-in list. So your email list needs to be about one specific topic. It's easier for people to know that they want to get the information from you if they know specifically what they're going to get. Don't use it to send out a whole bunch of general information. Really drill down what you specifically want to reach people with, and then only email about those things. Again, it goes back to, if your blog has a really narrow niche, a specific target, something specific that you blog about, it's a lot easier to make connections with people and build your readership that way. So like I said, I use Aweber at Blogalina, and I'm happy with their service. I go in and I create my lists, and the web forms that you use to sign up for the different updates. An example of one of those forms would be at the top of the page on blogalina.com. So I create those two things for readers to sign up through, and then Aweber manages my lists and allows me to send out updates to specific people. So it makes it really easy on this end of things too. The next thing we're going to talk about tonight is improving your blog content. Blogging is all about your content. That's really the reason that people come to your blog. So making sure that your blog content is the best that it can be, is worth the time that you would invest to do this. And so we're just going to talk about here a few things that I've found that have really helped with my readership and just made it easier for my readers to interact and read my content. So if you're writing about a specific topic that can help your readers, provide, at the beginning of what you're going to talk about, at the beginning of your post, just provide a brief introduction about what you're going to talk about. This way, if the reader is interested in what you have to say, they'll know what direction you're going to go in your specific topic. And some people might argue, well, don't you want to, you want to keep them hanging so that they'll keep reading. And what I have found in my own life, and then also, from watching other people, is that we don't have a lot of time these days. So giving your readers the information that they need quickly and concisely is really a service that you can provide to your readers. So even if you, in that intro to your post, you put in there, a basic summary of what you're going to talk about in the post, and that person then decides, oh, well, I don't need to read this article, that's fine. You just helped them. You help them save that time. And so they're going to remember that over if they got all the way through your article and spent all that time reading it, and then realize they just wasted all this time. That's not going to stand out as a good thing in their mind. So then, after your introduction, in the body of your posts, have the key information that your topic is talking about, with many features followed by the benefits. We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but I really like to use headings, headers, to break up your content so it's easy to scan. So content is king. I know you've heard it before, and it is true. People will come to your blog to read your content. So it's important to be doing what you can to make your content the best that it can be. As you consider how you go about writing your information, how you provide the information that you want to give to your readers, just always, it's important to keep your reader in mind and think about that person. If you know that your readers have a lot of time and they love just scanning through and just browsing through posts, then it's fine to have those long, wordy posts, that they enjoy reading. But if you know that your readers don't have a lot of time and they're on they're on the internet, quick off the internet, it's good to work with what they need, give them what they're looking for. So this checklist I put together for each post, just some things to keep in mind as you compose your posts. Number one is with your headlines. Keyword phrases should, if you can, include them in your headlines. This will help with your search engine optimization. So if you're writing about a specific keyword or keyword phrase, try to include that in your headline, as long as it makes sense, as long as it's still readable for a person to read. It's always more important to focus on what your readers want to read rather than what the search engines want to read. The second point here is your first paragraph should be short, no more than, say, 30 or 40 words. 2 or 3 short sentences with the keywords from your headline included near the beginning. And again, this is a tip for your search engine optimization. Those keywords will help you rank higher in the search engines, but as always, balance it out with how readable is this information for my readers. Besides having your keywords in your headlines and then also in that first paragraph, another tip that I have is to cut up long sentences into shorter ones. If a sentence is really long, you can cut it down. You know, if it's over 2 lines, it should be cut down. Just keep that information short and to the point. Another thing that I've already mentioned, but just to highlight this again, you know, with your headlines in the body of your posts, break up the article with headlines inside your post. Just keep them short and capitalize the first letter of each word, and this will help it stand out for your readers. And finally, in your last paragraph, sum up the point of your article. You know, you gave an introduction at the beginning, now close it with a summation. Another thing about at the end of your article, this can be a good tip to help you increase the comments on your blog, is to just ask a question. You know, kind of leave it open. Ask a question that's easy for people to share their opinion on, not a really super in-depth one unless that's what you blog about. And then just make it easy for them to just reply in a comment with their input. And that'll help encourage people to leave those comments on your blog. Finally tonight, we're going to talk about publishing your own ebook. And one thing I'd like to say here is that a lot of bloggers that I talk to, and from my own personal experience, one of the best ways to make money with your blog is to have a product or a service that you sell on your blog, that you yourself provide. And so having an ebook to sell is a great way to do this too. And I know it sounds intimidating, because when I first heard that phrase, make your own ebook, I thought there is no way possible I can do that. That is just too huge of a task. But I'm going to tell you tonight that it doesn't have to be a huge task. It's all about breaking it down into those bite-sized pieces. To start with, when you're thinking about your ebook, you can simply just take several of your most popular or favorite posts, do a little editing to them, compile them into an ebook form, and offer that on your blog. I've seen this done, you know, on Bloggers. There was a series of posts, you know, on being disciplined and, you know, really getting stuff done in your life. And so they just took that and turned it into a 21 days of being disciplined or something along those lines. So then you would just take those posts off your site and offer that ebook. That's a good idea, you know. Number one, if this is your first ebook that you're putting together, it makes it a whole lot less overwhelming because most of the work is already done. And number two, it's a great way to offer a freebie. We've been talking about offering a free ebook for your mailing list. Well, having, you know, a compilation of a post series that you did, that's content right off your blog. So finding out what your readers really want to know and giving them that all at once in ebook form is a good way to get them on your mailing list too. You can publish an ebook to either sell it, or you can write one to give away on your blog. If you're given an ebook, can be a great way to, like I said, increase your email subscribers. Or another thing an ebook can be good for, if you're giving it away for free, is for it to be viral marketing. So you put your link to your blog obviously in the ebook, and then tell people they can give it away to whoever they want. One form, you know, it's not an ebook, but I see a lot of checklists or, you know, calendars or things like that that are printable out there, and then people just include their blog link at the bottom, so it's free advertisement for them. They had to take the time to put together that thing, and then they just say, okay, everybody, you can give this away to whoever you think is going to need it, and then their blog name gets out in front of a lot of people. Some tips for getting started on your ebook. Okay, so first, you know, we're going to break it down so it's not so overwhelming. First, jot out what you think you want to call your ebook. You know, even if you aren't for sure what you'd like to write about, then make a list. Jot down a few titles that you think would work, or, you know, a few topics that you want to write about. And then eventually, you know, as you're thinking about it and spending some more time on it, you'll find one that will grow on you, that you'll want to actually use. Write a sentence or two stating exactly what problem you want to address in your ebook and how your book is going to solve that problem. It's good to have a clear picture of what you want to provide in this ebook to make sure that it ends up actually providing what you want to give your readers. Make a list of the reasons that you're writing your ebook. This is good, again, to give you that focus. Do you want to write this ebook to promote your blog, like we talked about, you know, either through viral marketing or to give those email subscribers? Are you wanting to bring quality traffic to your website, or are you wanting to show people that you know what you're talking about? You know, do you want to improve your reputation, present yourself as an expert on a topic, or are you wanting to sell this ebook to earn an income? So once you have that topic in mind and your title and what you know you're going to want to write about, A couple of tips for writing your ebook is number one is to write in just a casual conversational tone rather than a textbooky formal tone. People these days are not going to read this big wordy thing. They respond to the feeling that you're just having a conversation with them, that you're relating to them, that you know what they're feeling, and you really want to try to help them solve their problem. Another tip that I have, is just as it can be so overwhelming to write an ebook that you just keep putting it off, thinking, okay, I'm going to do it next week, I'll do it next month, I'll get around to it. But make a schedule. If you make a schedule to write at least a page a day or whatever works for your time frame, and make that commitment, I'm going to do this each day, then you will actually get started. And half the battle with doing an ebook is actually getting started. So once you get past that, you'll find that it rolls a lot easier than you think it will. Another tip that I would have is to make use of lists. This makes your information, again, like with your blog posts, it makes your information easy to absorb, and it gives the readers a mental break from dissecting your paragraphs one after another. So it's not just words and words and words, they can see the highlights, the important information, the important topics, and then read more about them underneath. One way that I like to do an ebook too is I like to decide how many chapters I'm going to have. Let's say I'm going to say 10 ways to grow your blog by tomorrow. So now I know I have 10 ways that I need to share. And then I sit down, I jot down those 10 ways, and then I say, okay, I'm going to write a page on each of these 10 ways. And it just makes it a whole lot easier to break it all down and makes it more manageable that way for me anyway. Once you have your content and you've got your ebook written, you got a draft put up, the next thing you want to consider is the design of your email or your ebook. And there's different things to consider with this. One thing I would suggest doing is in the notes that'll go out tomorrow, there are some links to some free ebooks just to check out the formatting. You can take a look and say, oh, that's really hard to read, I wouldn't want to do that. Or there's some really popular ones in there that do really well, and so you can see what they look like. And so you consider, you really want a design that's easy to read, and you want to find a font that's easy on the eyes, and stick to that font family. You don't want to make it really busy and hard to read when people are reading through your information. Remember, it's about your content. It needs to look pretty, but don't make it look too busy and crazy. You also want to use text that's large enough to be read easily on the screen, but small enough so that the whole page can be seen on a computer screen. So some of this stuff, you just got to play with it and experiment and just see what works for you. Don't forget, too, the most important thing is to run a spell and a grammar check, and if possible, have somebody read it for you. Just because, especially if you're trying to present yourself as an expert on a topic and then you have a bunch of grammar errors in there, that's not going to look very good. So those are those are just some brief tips. I mean, obviously there's more that goes into writing an ebook and putting it together. We do have some resources on Blogalina, how to write an ebook that just goes a little bit more into finding your topic and actually getting it down on paper. But hopefully this will give you an idea of, it actually is doable. You can actually do an ebook with your blog. And if you're just getting started, even just having it on the back burner of thinking of topics, you'll come across somebody will have a question and you'll say, oh, I could write an ebook to answer that question. And there you go. Jot it down, and then when you have time to spend on this, get started. I just want to say again that I've really appreciated you making the time to be here for this class, and I hope that it's given you some direction in your blogging and given you an idea of what it takes to have a successful, profitable blog, that it is going to take some work, but it is definitely doable. And so I just want to close here with this thought. Don't give up. I mean, like a lot of things, blogging takes time and work to be successful. And so as you're facing your blogging, there will be days, I have these days, when you're going to feel like giving up. Like, what is the point in doing this? And one thing that I just want to share here really quick too that I found helpful is that, let's say today I'm having this day where I just don't want to do this anymore. It's too much work. I'm not enjoying it anymore. What I like to do, instead of saying, okay, well then I'm just going to quit, I say, okay, at the end of next month, if I still feel this way, then I will quit. I will give myself the freedom to stop blogging. And obviously, we're still going 4 years into this, so it hasn't happened yet. But I guess I just want to share that with you just to let you know that there will be those days when it just feels like it's too much. So that would be one thing to do. Just say, okay, in a month, I will quit if I still feel this way. Another thing that I found helpful too is if you have just a really bad burnt out day, just step back from blogging. Just say, okay, I'm taking the afternoon off, and just do something else that you like to do, something fun. And it just helps you regroup and give you that energy that you need to keep going again. Just hopefully it encourages you too, just knowing that even the big bloggers out there, I still talk to, bloggers that are even bigger than Blogalina, and they still have those days where they wonder if they should keep doing this or find something else. So know that you're not alone in that feeling, and at the same time, don't just give up. Keep plugging away. There really could be really big things in your future.